Take a motion to approve the agenda. So, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Same sign. Everyone's had a chance to look over the previous minutes. If there are no additions or corrections, they'll stand approved as presented. Katie, would you announce the visitors?
Yes. On the far right, we have Todd Sweeney with Navigate Building Solutions. Then we have Dennis, put these out of order. Brian Dennison and Stephen, I'm so sorry, Stefanovic from PCE Construction. And we have Dennis Paul and Nick Smith from Stepco, sorry.
We have no public comments sent in, so we'll move on to officers' report, CFO report. Jamie's not here, but we'll go over that, and if you got any questions, perhaps we can answer.
How many miles on unit 13 that had to be repaired?
230-ish thousand, I believe.
First time we've been in for ball joints and stuff like that on that.
As far as I can recall. In fact, I think that was the first transmission we got as well.
That's a lot longer than motor on the other one. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a odd number on Penn County Joint Communications. How'd that come up for that on page 14? 13,846.92. Usually I thought it was kind of a even dollar.
Well, I think they also raised a little bit because kind of rise over the 12-month period, so maybe that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure of that. Okay.
No big deal. I just curious. It says June.
Any problems in the building?
I'm not aware of anything.
She had highlighted a thing in blue on page. EMT revenue.
That's the cost reporting thing she does, where we have to pay a percentage and we get money back on it. So that was the G&T payment that we get every year.
It's revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
GEMT.
I think doesn't have something to do with the Medicaid Medicare.
She does. Yeah.
So the G is government.
Yeah.
Ground emergency medical.
Okay. There you go.
So she does cost reporting, that's thing we get in the year as part of the budget, and then we pay a portion and then we get a bigger chunk back.
Okay.
It's basically we're paying the federal share and we get that back to the state.
Are there any other questions on the CFO report? Now I'd like to take a motion to receive the CFO report.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I would take a motion to approve payment of outstanding bills.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Unfinished business, owner's representative. All right, Q. So, you gentlemen would like to start?
You guys in order?
Your
We
first.
can do rock, paper, scissors. Eeny, meeny, miny, miny. Closest goes first.
There you go.
Well, thank you. Introduce myself, Dennis Paul. I've been with Septagon for over 40 years. Live here. Background as a professional engineer. I am not registered at this moment. I went to part-time about 4 years ago, so I did not up my PE license as of 2 years ago. So, but I was a PE for most of my 40 years at Septagon. Been working as a construction manager and owner's rep for 30 years for public entities and not-for-profits just like yourself. So a little bit about myself. Go ahead, Nick, introduce yourself.
I'm Nick Smith, been with Septagon for 25 years, and he's been my mentor the entire time. Born and raised here in Pez County, still live here in Pez County, with Mr. Gerke being my representative here. We mainly, I deal with all the construction management side on public works, school districts, counties, ambulance districts, and so on.
Get us geared up here. We got a little bit, instead of flipping through pages, we kind of briefed it up a little bit to have some talking pages. As I understand, we got about 10 minutes and then go from there.
9.
Down to 8 already.
Yeah. Easy ground.
That'll be plenty. Well, Septagon has offices in Missouri and in Iowa. Our home office is here in Sedalia. We're in the general contracting and construction management business. You have any luck? We'll wing it then. Yeah.
The podium's about
It might be too far.
What are we aiming at?
Sit up here if you want to.
What does he need to aim at?
Pushing the arrow.
Yeah.
That's good. Just stay there. This is our team. You asked for a PE on your RFQ, and our one of our officers. I'm no longer an owner of Septagon. I was, but when I went to part-time, I sold my portion of the building or the ownership to Stace, is the president. He's also a professional engineer. Sadly, you would have to deal with me. I'll be the project manager on this project if we are selected. Nick would be the backup and my right hand if I need assistance. I don't know if we'll need a project manager. It depends on how much on-site activity you want from us as a construction manager / owner's representative. But those would be the team members that would be involved in your project. We'd also pull in estimators probably. But Nick or I will do the scheduling and work with the architects and the engineers on the plan reviews and constructabilities and all those front end things, as well as interviewing architects if that's the role you want us to play and assigning that. As mentioned, we told you during pre-construction and construction, those activities that we would be providing for you. I think another question you asked was LEED certification. We do not have any LEED certified professionals in our staff. We had some, but we did not re-up those in the last few years. Talk a little bit about some of our projects. We did owner's representative services. I think you're just gonna have to move forward. We did the Johnson County Ambulance District. We did Cooper County Ambulance District. We're the owner's rep. Cooper County was a 3-bay drive-through. It's also got a training, a small training room. It's probably a room a little bit bigger than this, as well as the housing and the living rooms as you need for your remote facilities. We did the previous page, Nick, was Johnson County Ambulance. We did that with KRJ, was the architect out of St. Louis. Again, on both these projects, we served as owner's representative. We interviewed, solicited architect proposals for the districts. Another project is the Benton County School. We're finishing up the down in Lincoln, a new school project, or new gymnasium project. We served as construction manager with full-time supervision down there. That was a $7.5 million project. We also provided owner's rep services for the Sedalia Community Center here, the Heckert Community Center. Worked with Amy Epley and her staff on pre-construction services only. Worked with them, and we went and visited facilities to understand what they wanted to get for the project. Go ahead, Ken.
Is the Heckert Center LEED certified?
No,
Is that certification attainable through another?
I'm not a lead guru. I don't know that much about lead.
Yeah, well, I didn't know, and how important was, have any of these other?
No, none of them have been.
All right, thank you.
We did a lot of work on the front end on the Heckert and assisting the Park and Recs department to make sure they got what they wanted, and partnered with the school district. In addition to that, they kicked in $6.5 million on that project to get rid of the pool they had over at the middle school. But again, we were owner's rep, providing project estimates, interviewed architects, etc. This project is Nick's. He served as the project manager on Southern Boone, and we've been doing business for this school district for 25 years. That's a list of most of our projects that we have served as owner's rep and construction managers over the last 4 years, as per your RFQ. Our services pretty much will follow along with your Exhibit A you had in the RFQ documents. There's a couple of questions. How much on-site, if the board selects Septagon as the preferred construction manager, we can kind of hone in on how many estimates you want us to provide, how much time do you want us to be on the job site. Those are all negotiations based on how much you want to pay and what services you do want provided by your owner's representative. So with that, I'll, Nick, anything else you think I need to go over?
No, I think, even just with the shortened list here, the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years, you can kind of see some patterns there. Southern Boone School District, we have on there, I think, 5 different times, including Rankin Technology College. That just goes to show that, we value the relationship with the owners, and that they trust us and keep inviting us to come back and provide services for them. So it's a true long-term relationship, not just a project for us.
So with that, do you have any questions for Septagon?
When you did Johnson County Ambulance District, what type of just relationship or services did you provide? How did you save them money over doing straight through the architect?
We started with the programming, went to programming meetings with the architect. Actually, I did RFQs, submitted to the owner. I helped draft our RFQ working with Shane Lockard, the chief there. Met with the board, kind of figured out what they wanted and what the staff and administration wanted as well. Interviewed with the architects, selected the architect, or they selected the architect with my input. I kind of became a team member in that selection process.
That's what I was getting at.
The final say is yours.
Soup to nuts, though, you were involved.
Yeah, yep. Saved money on some site development plans, working with the city, with the fire department up there in Warrensburg. They had some demands on the projects for fire lanes, and similar to what you would need to address here with the city of Sedalia. They want to have all that stuff addressed appropriately, safety issues. Went out and got bids. We did GC bids on that. I was on the site. I did not have a project manager. I think I went to the site at least twice a week, is what they wanted from me. So I was up there twice a week. Sometimes it was like 4 times a week, and sometimes it was once a week, depending on the activity that was taking place.
Did it come in at budget?
It came in about 12 to 15% under budget.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
It was
Beautiful facility.
Yep. Big building, lots of space in there. I can't remember. Was that a 4-bay building? Yeah, I think it was 4, but I'm not sure. That picture shows it on the, if you can scroll back.
You're asking a lot.
I know, it was the first one.
What does you guys fee structure? Is it a fixed fee that you guys charge, or do you charge a percentage?
Usually I base it on a percentage, but and then it locks into a fixed fee.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 5. It's a 5-bay building.
They've got oodles of training space. And
Yes.
Murphy beds. Whose idea was the Murphy beds?
The chief.
That was cool.
Yep. He had done that, and I think he came from St. Louis. He had done it on a project up over in St. Louis area. And he had good luck with it, so that's.
And then they got the mock-up of their actual ambulance in there for training for.
Yeah, one room was just built.
Yeah.
Yep, built just like the.
It was impressive.
Yep.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Don't forget your clicker. Oh, that's not ours. It's ours, that's.
Getting better.
That's why it doesn't work. We do not have a PowerPoint, but I did have a little printout here with just some key facts about our company. That I brought them up here. So my name is Steven Stepanovic with PCE, and I'm joined here today with Brian Dennison. Professional Contractors and Engineers is what PCE stands for. We are located in Columbia, Missouri. We were founded in 1989. We're I like to call ourselves a full-service construction company. We do design, build, construction management, general contracting, and owner's rep services. So we've got experience with it all. We have a little over 30 employees, and currently we have around 20 million in projects just in Sedalia alone. So over the past year, we've been really fortunate to be working down in this area, and we've enjoyed getting to know the community. Brian is the project manager on these local projects. So with that, I'll let Brian introduce himself.
So I'm Brian Dennison. I've been with PCADs for 13 years now. Started out actually in the field being a laborer. Got transitioned into the office, was assistant project manager. Worked my way up to project manager. I feel like with me being out in the field, checking shop drawings, going through all the document review. So we're working from labor to the project manager, have a good understanding of how a project's built. Feel like that knowledge really help out, being owner's representative. As he said, taking care of roughly $20 million worth of work here in Sedalia, between the public school jobs. I think I have 7 schools, the public school jobs. We're doing vestibule upgrades for security reasons. And then for State Fair Community College, taking care of 18,000 square foot, 3-story residence hall. We're expected May of 2025 to be completed with that. I'll be your main point of contact throughout this if we're selected. So look forward to the opportunity.
I've been with PCE since 2014. I would kind of serve as the principal in charge. So I'd be working with Brian and providing him whatever support he needs. I would be working with him to develop our budgets and schedules as the project progresses. Currently, I'm spending most of my time working down at State Technical College on a construction management project down there. So we work in tandem. And then we also have Jack Matheson, who was in our project, or in our qualifications, but he wasn't able to make it tonight. He'd be our assistant on the job, and we'd fold him in as needed. So we don't have presentations today. I thought it could kind of just be a brief conversation. But I trust that everyone's seen our qualifications, and we've seen some of our example projects where we've served as construction manager, we've served as design builders, and even just general contracting. So we have a lot of experience working in the public realm, including ongoing work even here in this community. So how we would approach a project is, if we were selected, we would assist you in selecting a design team, whichever approach the district requires. So we would, I think, get a good understanding of your scope, and then we would use our ties in the region to make sure that you get a great response from multiple design firms, even locally and maybe towards the central region, closer to our neck of the woods. We have great relationships with designers that would be willing to work in this area. Once the design team is selected, we would work closely with the district to further develop the design. We provide detailed budgets. Right now, we've got some great relationships with local subcontractors, and we would draw on them to help us get some budget numbers. So we wouldn't be working just off square footage numbers. We'd actually bring in some of our subcontractors that we work with closely to get accurate early budget numbers. And along with that, we look at the feasibility of the project as a whole and make sure that it meets your needs as it gets designed. Then we move into pre-construction, where Brian and I would both help, but mainly Brian.
Yeah, so really our plan is really proceed with more of a probably construction manager layout. We'd get with the design team, go over work packages, really emphasize using local actual subcontractors to help minimize any extra costs, really prevent a general contractor from coming in and trying to just put their fees on top of it, just to paperwork. After that, after we create work packages, we would submit everything out publicly, give everybody opportunity. Like he said, we have strong ties with a lot of local subcontractors in the area here, Columbia, that would be willing to come travel, complete the work. Once we receive all the bids, we would review, make sure the scopes are apples to apples, make sure it's complete, and it's from qualified subcontractors. After we take in all the information, we would present to you guys and make a selection from there. After that, we go straight into construction. If you guys need us to, we would provide an on-site supervision or superintendent or some form of supervision. We'd be able to discuss that. Make sure the quality control's there. Any issues or concerns, we'd be able to work through with you guys on that. We take care of scheduling management. We provide up-to-date schedules at whatever period you guys would like. We work with all the subcontractors or people that bid on the work scopes to find any critical items that need to be done quickly. We take care of the cost management along with that, keeping the budget in mind, making sure that the project's complete within that budget.
Make sure change orders are minimized, make sure we're adhering to the contract documents. So that was a little quick. We have lots of information packed within our qualifications. And that was a brief introduction of us. Does anyone have any questions about our company or approach?
Thinking senior trucks driving around over at State Fair Community College last few months.
Yeah, we're doing that residence hall, so it's 54,000 square foot.
Who is it that you worked with before and now over there at the college?
Oh, as far as your contact with.
Yeah, your contact.
I'm dealing with Ben Burson quite a bit. Yeah, he's the owner's rep, basically.
And when you worked for the Sedalia School District?
Yeah, I'm currently working with that. That was a public job, so we actually went on the bid market and were awarded that. I'm dealing with architect Hollis Miller, but Chris Pyle is is my main contact, Richie Simmons. So.
So, yeah, all right, I know Chris and Richie. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Yeah, they've been really easy to work with, so they're great.
So, this Autodesk, did you wanna? could you tell me
Yeah,
a little
sure.
about
So I
that?
mean,
I'm curious.
right now, there's two major players in the construction documentation world. Right now, you've got Procore and Autodesk. We use Autodesk. Autodesk is the same manufacturers that handle most of the design software as well. So now they have their own suite of construction documentation software. So with that, the district could have all the plans available to them. You can see all the submittals. That's where we would host all of our documents, and it would be readily available to everybody. And it's also a great way to get the plans into the field. So all the subcontractors would have access to that system.
Are there any other questions?
How do you guys, deal with delays and cost overruns on sites and stuff?
You know, I'd like to say they never happen and we solve all problems, but they do. Really, the best way to handle those are to get ahead of them, to ensure that we have great communication with the subcontractors who are doing the work and deal with them as they arrive. I mean, sometimes there are delays that are out of our hands and we have to find a workaround. Could we start the steel erection before the slab's poured? Could we use a different type of product? With costs, we approach it the same way. We try to have excellent budgets beforehand, excellent estimates beforehand, confirm everyone's scope so there's no overlaps or dropped scopes, and then handle the changes as they come.
Would this be your first emergency medical facility?
No, we have some experience with fire stations. We've done multiple fire stations. We've done multiple police station work, but I can't.
Any around here that?
No, most of our municipal work in that nature has been up around Columbia, Central Missouri. Yeah,
Thank you.
Any other questions?
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. The gentleman from Navigate.
Thanks, I got Swain from Navigate Building Solutions. I'm gonna be super quick, but you guys gave me plenty of time last time.
I heard that before.
Yeah, right. You timed me. 6 things, since there's new people in the audience, I would suggest that they encourage me to come back, so I did. We completed 21 fire stations. You do 1 or 2, you learn a lot. 3 or 4, you learn more. Every time you go engage with a different client, different chief, different systems, you learn different vendors and products. You know how to put the pieces together. I think we do that very well. Formally endorsed by 40 agencies. You guys asked for proven processes. I think our reference letters and our references hopefully represent who we are as an organization and our testimony to what we do. License, we do meet the requirements set forth by the state and in your RFQ for professional engineering license and lead licenses. To your point, do they make a difference? We think licensure makes a big difference. I think you do as an organization, being an EMS, you guys are certified and licensed, go through the training. That's what's required of those 2, is that you do your ongoing training and keep up the breast with what's required in the state. Third, we are independent, so we are an independent consultant. So all we do is own a rep again. That's a big difference between construction management and general contracting. These guys are both great firms. I'd love to see the one of them build a building. That's just simple math. We don't do that, because we think there's a conflict of interest, so we would be an independent consultant. And honestly, I think you got some great builders behind you. Available resources start immediately, and because we are no longer associated with general contracting, or we're not multiple businesses, we really streamline our services to the point where we don't have the overheads, we don't have the requirements that you need to do those other things, and we're a lot less expensive because of that. We're just a consulting firm. We sell hours, and we're very inexpensive at doing it. That's all I got. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone have any further questions of either of them?
This Universal Construction, they've dropped out. So we'll be out of school to ask if any of you have any knowledge of Universal Construction.
We just, for sure, they're a good builder. They'd be another one that could be a good general contractor for you.
Just curious, I had never seen them before.
They do a ton of work in this area, so they do a lot of municipal work too, so. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yep, they've been around for a long time.
Okay. I just wasn't familiar with them at all.
They're out of the Kansas City area.
I'd like to see the administration finish checking references and bring a recommendation back to the next meeting of who they believe they can work with the best. You guys are gonna have to work with them on a regular basis and communicate.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Button. Green button. Gut deals, the Chevy Tahoe.
So we're nearing the completion of one of the Tahoes, the Series 8. And the old one that we're retiring has been stripped down and we're ready to probably send it on its happy way. We did some Kelly Blue Book looking. I didn't really know where to set the price at or the starting bid on Gov Deals. So Kelly Blue Book's $9,800. I think we put it out there for 9,000 to start a bid and see where it goes. It's got 124,000 miles on it. It does have its issues. It runs fine motor wise, but you can tell that it's a 2010, 14 years old.
Can we sell it local?
I don't think the way the law works is gonna have to be either sealed bid or Gov Deals, which Gov Deals kind of takes the headache of sealed bid out of the equation.
You can't trade it in on oil changes at Rick Paul then. We might get
I like that. So I mean, that's my recommendation is that we put it out there and see it started at 9,000 and see where it goes. I mean, worst thing that happens is nobody puts a bid on it. We reconsider what we start at and go lower. But I mean, we only paid 10,000 for it 5 years ago. So I mean, but a lot of things have happened with the vehicle market since we bought that too. So I think if you guys are okay with it, we can go ahead and we'll not get it listed.
Seems like a no-lose strategy.
I'd make a motion for that.
Well, I do. We still need a second Russian meeting here. I think you get home to dinner, but.
The 98 from KDB, was that like, usually they give you like a gauge from lowest to highest, is that like the mid-range?
It's about mid-range, and in all honesty, that's why it may go, it may not go. It does have a console, it still has the emergency lights in it. Obviously, if a private party buys it, that is not an emergency service, will disconnect the lights, but I mean, I think it would be good for maybe another service that is less busy and smaller with a smaller budget. It'd be a good vehicle for them should they want to put a bid on it. I don't know of anybody that wants to, but you never know. So I mean, that adds some to it as well. The front console where the radios and stuff will go is still there, and that wasn't cheap either. I mean, that was probably $1,500 just for the console. So I think that it's a fair starting price. And like I said, if nobody's interested to speak by it, we can come back and discuss lowering it to a lower amount and put it back out there again. But,
So just make sure we're gonna start at 9 and that's gonna be a reserve though, right?
yeah, well, I think,
Well,
how does that work? So
basically, we start off, the first bid, if somebody wants to bid on it, they bid at 9,000, there's no $0 or
Okay.
$500. The
So
first
they
bid
can-
is 9, yeah.
The tricky part with setting a reserve is the people who are bidding on it can't see what your reserve is. So
Yeah.
they can keep bidding and bidding, and eventually they lose interest if they never meet it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's not like, like eBay, you see the reserve not met and then it tells you like kind of what the reserve is. This one is not like that, so it's kind of just blind on that.
All right, I'm good now.
So is there a second to the motion? I will second that. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No opposed, same sign. Since we have no new business, are there any announcements? Now then, take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.